Okay, so I had to make two videos because the first one it was only letting me do like 15 minutes per video. So I went ahead and did the rest of my bottom eyelashes with mascara, and they're really easy to do. Just go over it really lightly with the mascara. I don't re-dip it. I have a lot of friends that do they'll do one coat of mascara like on one eye and then dip it and then do the other and then dip it and do the other one again and then dip it, do the other one again. And so they end up dipping it like 3 times. The more you dip it, the more oxygen gets in it, the more bacteria you're going to get in it. So dip it as little as possible. That's why I only do it one time. Like I dip it once, I just unscrew it and then put on all my mascara. And then whenever I do a second coat, like I leave it in here for a while to make sure the brush gets a lot of mascara on it. And then whenever I go to do my second coat, then I just do it the same way again. So don't pump your brush. Do not. I know so many people who pump their brushes. That is so bad. When you have mascara, especially a good mascara, don't sit there and unscrew it and then sit there and pump the brush because it gets a lot of oxygen in it. And the more oxygen that's in there, the way the mascara is like it is chemicals. The chemicals that are in the mascara, it reacts with the oxygen, and a lot of bacteria will grow in there because it's warm and it's moist, and just the less oxygen you can get in it, the better. That's why I just don't even mess with it, and I just do it once for all of them, and it usually does just fine. So, foundation. This foundation works as a concealer and a foundation all in one, and a primer. Like it is amazing. It's Sephora, it's liquid, and I went to Sephora like 2 days ago, and they were completely out of this foundation except in one color. Like they had none, and it's understandably so. It is the best foundation I've ever used. And you just pull off the cap, and there's a little pump. You just pump it with your finger, and there's that itty bitty dot. That's where the foundation comes out. And I'll show you how much foundation I use. That is, I mean, get about that much at a time because it'll go a long way. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But you should use your middle or your ring finger when you do foundation, because if you use your forefinger, you tend to pull more because you have more strength in your forefinger and your thumb. You don't have as much strength in your middle or ring fingers. So when you're doing your foundation, it's going to look bad on my nose. I'm just letting you know because I'm sunburned and I'm peeling really bad. But I'm going to go ahead and do my nose anyways just to show you. But it's not going to look good. Just warning you. I went to the Warped Tour and my nose got really, really sunburned. But yeah, just get a little bit at a time so that you have less to work with. It's a lot easier to work with. Sorry, that's mascara. It's a lot easier to work with just a little bit of foundation as opposed to trying to work with a lot of foundation. And I just start on my cheeks. See what I mean? It comes off really, like really thick and really dark. And then I just blend it up to my nose and under my eye. And then I just blend it out just using my ring finger. And I just pull it like under my eye. But you have to be really gentle with your under eye skin because it's really sensitive. If you pull it too hard, I can pull the skin right here. You can pull that because that's thick. So it's not going to hurt it if you pull that. But if you use that same force under your eye, you're going to break a bunch of blood vessels like on the inside of your eye, and it's not pretty. And plus, it just irritates your skin, and it'll end up looking like you just have really bad bags under your eyes, basically. Because the blood vessels will break, and the purple lines under your eyes, that's all that is. They're just blood vessels. So, and then I just start try to get it right below where you finished blending when you did it the first time, like when you did the top half of your cheeks. And I just blend that line like right below it. And then I just blend it out like towards my ear and like towards my jaw. And I always do my cheeks first. I mean, you can do it in any order you want, really, but I like doing my cheeks first because it's the biggest area. And it's just easier for me to do cheeks first and then blend everything else to match my cheeks. Then I just go along my jawline, and then sometimes I'll use 2 fingers for this just to make sure it gets above my jawline and then on my jawline and a little bit below, so it looks blended. And then you just do the same thing on the other side. And one side of your makeup is always going to be easier to do than the other. I'm just letting you know. If you're left-handed, the left side of your makeup is going to be easier. If you're right-handed, the right side is going to be easier, foundation-wise. For me, it's easier for me to do the left side of my eye makeup because of, that was almost my, yeah, don't poke yourself in the eye when you do this, but I have really long nails too. So this is the finger I'm using for this, and I have really long nails, so I usually end up getting it, like, poking myself in the eye. It's easier for me to do the left side of my eye makeup because of the way that, like, the angle that I'm holding my eyeliner and my mascara at. It's just a lot easier. And then you just keep blending that out. And you don't really have, I mean, you don't have to really check, like, with the other side. I know a lot of people who, whenever they're doing their foundation, they'll do, like, this part, and they'll do this part, and then they'll do this part, and then you do this part, to make sure it's even. It'll even. I mean, and if you go back over it, check it at the end, and you'll be able to tell if part of it's darker than the rest, and then just go back through and even it. Don't worry about, oh, well, I have to do this, and then this, and then this. And same way with your eyebrows. I'll make a video showing you how to do eyebrows too, because I do mine myself. This one's better, but my arches are vastly different. So you always want to go with the arch of your eyebrows. And I promise you, unless you go to a professional salon and have them wax them, which for the record, if you're not used to it, it hurts. I've had mine waxed one time, and I'm never doing it again. That was in the 8th grade. I had them waxed, and I've been tweezing them ever since. I've never had them waxed since. I've never had anybody else do them. I've done them myself since then. And they're really not hard to do. It's easier for me to do other people's eyebrows, honestly, because I can see the arches. And it's easier to see everyone else's arches than see mine. And see what I mean by this works as a concealer too. If you have, like, any, like, blemishes, basically, just put, like, go over it with your normal amount of foundation, which you don't need a lot. I mean, just get a little bit at a time. We don't need any more Snookies. One is enough. And if you use too much of this, it will not blend. Because I made that mistake the first time I used it. And I didn't realize that it didn't take that much. Because on my other foundations, I had to use a lot to get the coverage I wanted. But this is, I mean, it doesn't take much. And then I just go over it a little bit just to make sure it's even. And you'll be able to feel it. If it feels smooth, like right here, if your skin feels really smooth, it's blended. If you hit a spot that feels really thick or a little bit oily, then it's not blended there. And just go over it and just kind of rub it like that, and it'll blend it back out. And then, but if you have any blemishes or whatever, you really don't need another concealer. I just use the concealer if I'm not going to put on foundation. And then just to cover up minor stuff. But if I'm, like, going out and doing something, I'll put on foundation. And I put on my normal amount of foundation like I'm doing right now. And I'll show you what I do for the concealer. But I always make sure I do the sides of my nose really well. And when you do the sides of your nose, just put the concealer right here. Just swipe it along and down. And then just blend it down, and then blend it back up towards the bridge of your nose, and just cover this one area really good, because a lot of times, I know for me anyways, my nose gets really red right on the corners, but this covers it, like, without a problem. Okay, this is what I mean for the concealer. Just get a little bit. Usually I don't even pump it for this. I just swipe what's already, like, what's left over on the, see what I mean? It takes 2 seconds and it covers. I just get, because whenever you pump it, a lot of times there'll be a little bit left over around the edges, and if you just put your finger across it, don't pump it, just swipe your finger across it, that's about as much as you need to use for concealer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I go along the outside edges right here. I don't do my forehead with foundation because my forehead's darker than the rest of my face anyways. So if I put on foundation, there's no point in it and it takes forever to do. I just go along the edges to make it blend into my forehead. And then I get a little bit again, just a little tiny bit, and above my eyelids gets really purple because my skin is really, really thin. Mom's making smoothies. Sorry about the noise. Just go along the top of your brow bone, and you can cover those purple lines. It might take a couple times to do, but it helps a lot if you're putting on eyeshadow, which I'm not going to do right now. I'll make another video for that, but if you're putting on eyeshadow or whatever, this way it covers those purple lines. And it works pretty well as a primer too. I would put on another primer if you're like going somewhere, if you're going to go swimming or whatever, put on a primer and it'll make any eyeshadow virtually waterproof. And Sephora has a primer for like, it's on sale right now, I think $10. On their website, just go to the sale page and they have a lot of really, really good products on like mega sale. They have a foundation that's hydrating, it's SPF 8. I mean, it's not a lot of SPF, but it's enough to cover you if you don't burn very easily. Like, I don't burn easily, but I need something, just like in my foundation, because I never put on sunscreen, which, yes, I'm aware of how bad that is for your skin, so don't leave comments going, that's so bad for you. I know. Yeah, just go over like this, and it'll cover all those veins if your skin is really thin like mine. When you do this too, you'll have to use your other hand. Like, this is the ring finger on my left hand, just because of the angle it's at, and because my nail is so long, it won't work. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my makeup. Last night, whoever asked me, I don't know who it was that asked me to do the tutorial, I didn't have on any foundation. I literally just had on eyeliner, 2 coats of mascara, a little bit of concealer, and my lip gloss, which I'll show you how to do, which takes 2 seconds. I'm almost out of this one too now, but it takes me about 2 seconds to do. That's literally pretty much it. I do one coat like that on my bottom lip and just mash them together. It's not real technical, but it works. And then I do another coat on the top lip, just to make sure they're even. You can do the same thing. And then what I do, since I have really long nails, I just take one nail and go through the Cupid's bow. That's what that's called right below your nose. It's Cupid's bow. Just go down and just swipe it across like that. And if you have any extra lip gloss right here, it'll get rid of it. And it defines your top lip. And then I just go across, take one nail and just go across my bottom lip like that. See? Lip gloss. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It took me a lot longer. It took me about 30 minutes to do this because I was explaining everything. But if you're just doing it on your own, like whenever I do my makeup normally, if I'm doing foundation, it takes me about 10 minutes. If I'm not doing foundation, it takes me like 5 to do the rest of that. If you have any other suggestions for videos, like makeup videos or anything, just tell me what you want me to do. I can do pretty much anything makeup-wise. So just leave me comments, rate, subscribe, and I'll try to get to it. Thank you.